Last week, I had mentioned to you that I had learned that fear wears many different masks. And today I want to talk about one of those masks that fear wears and share a personal story with you on how I started to learn about the different masks fear wears. So I was on a call with my coach. Yes, I have a coach. I personally believe that all coaches should have a coach, that there's a coach for everybody in life. And as she was asking me some questions, we were talking about how I like to have control over my schedule. And I like to have kind of an obsessive amount of control over my schedule. And as we're talking about that, she asked me, what are you afraid of? What's the fear? To which I had responded, I was like, I've done a lot of work on fear. I really don't think I'm fearful of anything. And the more we peeled back the layers, the more I realized that fear was behind it all. Let me tell you how. So we were talking about how I like to control my schedule. I'll give you an example. It hits a certain time at night and I feel like I have to prepare myself to go to bed and get to bed so that I can work out in the morning or so that I can be at my best the next day. And I'm pretty rigid about it. Now, I believe in having a good sleep schedule, right? What I'm talking about here is being obsessive about that amount of control, meaning that here's how I would think about it. There would be nights that maybe I'd be on the couch with my husband and we'd be watching a movie and it would hit a certain time on the clock and I'd be like, okay, I have to go to bed. And it would just interrupt the moment or the whole thing. And it's like, I have to go to bed. I have to go to bed right now. Or there are times that I get invited to do things on a weekday, to maybe go out to a dinner with friends or a networking event, to which sometimes I'm like, no, I can't go because if I go, then I won't be at home in time to get to bed, to go to the gym in the morning, to get my things done in the morning, to show up in the morning. And I would create the story and then not go and possibly miss an opportunity, right? So the reason that I'm thinking, okay, well, why? I have to ask myself, why do I have so much control? Why am I concerned about if I don't go to bed at the exact same time every night? And as we peeled back the layers, here's some of the answers. Well, if I don't go to bed at a certain time at night and I don't show up at the gym the next day, then I'm afraid, I told people I'm going to be there. What will people think? They think I'm going to show up at the gym. They think I work out every single day. What if I don't show up? So then it was oh, wait a second. That is fear. I'm afraid of what others will think of me if I don't show up. Or if I show up and I don't perform well. Or if I don't show up, I'm worried that they're spending the rest of their day thinking about, okay, well, why didn't she show up? She doesn't do what she says, right? It's a fear. It's fear-based. So in those examples of control, right, I was taking it to the next level, to an obsessive, to a rigid level that wasn't healthy. And that's what I want to get, the point I want to get across to you today, is there are certain times in your life, yes, God gives us self-control. We need to have self-control in certain things. And we also need to understand He has a plan and we don't have to control every single second of every single day. So now I've become more aware. Thinking about now taking these thoughts captive and asking, why? Why do I feel like I have to have control over this situation? And asking yourself that. Okay, I feel maybe you're I feel let's be silly for a second, and I know this isn't silly. My clothes have to be folded in a certain way. And if they're not folded in this way, then I get upset, it's got to be this way. Okay, why? What if they're folded differently? What are you afraid of? That it's not your way? Is it okay that it's not your way? Right? I used to be afraid of flying in airplanes, really afraid. And when I stepped back and thought about why am I so afraid, it's because I don't have control. I'm not the pilot. I'm not flying the plane. I don't have control. Once I realized that I was afraid because I didn't have control, I had to think about this. Okay, well, that's real silly because I don't need to be flying the plane. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to trust the person that's flying the plane, right? Who's gone to school, who's done it. So what I want you to do is I just want you to reflect. Are there any areas in your life right now where you feel like you have to control and control at a level of like rigidity and almost obsessive excessiveness? And I want you to ask yourself, why? Why do I feel the need to control the situation? Be honest, because the answer will reveal itself. And if it's something like, okay, why do I feel, let me give you an example. I'm going to go out to dinner with my friends on a weekday, and you know what? I'm not going to have a glass of wine because I want to go to the gym tomorrow and I want to work out and perform well. Okay. Rather than, you know what? Nope, I'm not even going to go to dinner with my friends because I have to be in bed at a certain time. And if I'm not in bed at that certain time, then I might not go to the gym. And if I don't go to the gym, people are going to judge me, and I'm afraid people are going to think bad thoughts about me. Totally different. So ask, what is it in my life right now that I feel like I have to have control over? Ask yourself, why do I feel I have to have control over it? And understand and realize that we don't have control over many things. Letting go of the control, letting go of the fear, giving it to God, and moving forward. If you have any questions, if you feel like you're getting stuck in figuring out how to release that fear of certain controls in your life, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you. Have an amazing day.